In June of 1994, our next guest's life was changed forever. Denise's sister, Nicole Brown Simpson, was brutally murdered by the hands of a madman who walks free today. Denise, on the other hand, walks the talk and is spreading her mission to stop the violence. Will you please join me in welcoming Denise Brown, chairman of the board of Nicole House. Denise. What a treat to have you here.
It's good to be here. Hi there.
What a treat, pretty lady.
Oh, it's good to be here. Thank you.
Haven't seen you for about a year or so since you were here discussing Nicole's house.
The summer here in Palm Springs, I was out here for one weekend, and it was 124 degrees.
Very pleasant.
And everybody said, Denise, you probably won't want to come here during the summer. And when I did come here, I was like a fish out of water. I couldn't breathe.
Right.
So anyhow, I am back.
Yes, you're back. But fortunately, it's not like that every summer. And I know everyone tells you that. We pray for days like today, and here we are, which is great.
I love being out here. I really do.
Denise, I want to know, what was your life like before June of 1994? What were your dreams prior to that?
Well, actually, I was doing sales. I was doing sales, antiques and clothing. And I have a son. Actually, he's 20 years old now.
Really?
So, yes, I'm a mom.
How great.
Yeah, love him and very proud of him.
I have a 20-year-old, too. That's great.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Boy, girl?
Girl.
Girl, yeah. And I'm just really proud of him. And so, basically, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a mother.
Right.
My life changed, like you said, June 12th, and I started traveling around the country in March of 95. March of 1995. My first speaking engagement was in Columbia, Missouri, and I spoke to about 800 people, and that was the first time I had ever spoken in front of people, because I used to ditch school when I had to give oral book reports.
Oh my gosh.
And there was like no way I was going to get up there and speak in front of people.
Now, was this the start of Nicole's house?
No, that was the start of Nicole Brown Foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, at first we were the Nicole Brown Simpson Charitable Foundation, because that is Nicole's legal name.
Right.
And that's on her gravestone still today. And then we changed it to Nicole Brown Charitable Foundation in, I guess it was 99. And then we just recently changed it to the Nicole Brown Foundation. Still the same organization, still doing the same thing, bringing awareness and education to the communities. I still travel around the world, talking, implementing programs, things like that.
What are some of the programs within the
foundation?
Nicole Foundation, right.
Oh gosh, one of them that I learned from the Minnesota Coalition for Battered Women is Hands Are Not for Hitting. And that's geared towards kids in kindergarten through 6th grade. There's a curriculum that goes into the school system, but one part of it that I really love, and this is what I take to the kids in the shelters, is a hand places his hand on a piece of paper, a child, traces the outline of his hand, colors it whatever colors they want to do it, and then they take a pledge. Hands are not for hitting,
That's
words
beautiful.
are not for hurting, my hand will not commit violence. So we did it with my son, Nicole's kids, Sydney and Justin, and a few of their friends, and all of a sudden I got these great hands. I mean, bright colors, rainbows, yellows, reds, pinks, purples. And then I looked at Justin's hand.
I was going to ask, what is the difference between a child who lives in a normal life, but then someone who has had abusive parents or has been abused themselves?
Well, the interesting thing is that Sydney's hand had all the rainbows, and it was perfectly colored in the hand, in the lines and everything. And then I got Justin's hand, and Justin's hand, he took a black crayon, and he took that crayon and he just scratched it across his hand, and he put a tiny little red heart right in the center of it.
Oh my gosh.
And I looked at that and I said, oh my God. What is this? And then I called the psychiatrist and I said, Ken, what does this mean?
Right.
And he says, Denise, you have a little boy there with a broken heart.
Oh my gosh.
Killed me.
Can you imagine?
Absolutely killed me. And then that's when I just said, you know what? This program needs to be in every school system. Every child needs to do this. Every child needs to take that pledge. Hands are not for hitting.
Exactly.
Words are not for hurting.
Exactly.
My hand will not commit violence. Do it at home. Take that pledge. He still knows it today.
He still knows it today. And does he ever redo his hand, and does it come out differently, or is it a one-time thing in your life?
No, we just did it one time, and now he's 18 years old, and he still remembers it. All the kids remember it. Denise walks into the room, and look out, hands are not for hitting.
It's great.
It's like, yeah, but they remember it, and so I know that it's something
ingrained
that
in the system.
Kids know.
It's ingrained in the system.
Yeah.
Now, okay, hands are not for hitting.
Is one.
Abuse. Okay, that's one of them, but it just leads me into abuse.
Yeah.
Do abusers have certain stereotypes? Are there certain traits you can see within an abuser that would hit her?
No, the amazing thing, or the weird thing is that, 95% of the time, abusers are men. And I always say, we need to help them. They need help.
Right.
Because if so often times that the abusers is male, and there's this stigma, there's these myths about domestic violence that abusers are abusive 24 hours a day, 52 weeks a year. Well, they're not. Because they can be very charming until you do something, say something, or don't say something that sends them into a complete rage. You don't even have to do anything.
Well, I was reading the transcript that from the trial, the civil trial, the letter that Nicole had written to OJ, and she said, "I assume that your recurring nastiness, attitude, and mean streak was to cover up your cheating and general disrespect for women and lack of manners. There was a time also before Justin and after a few months after Sydney, I really felt good about how I was back into shape and we made out. You beat the holy hell out of me and we lied at the x-ray lab and I said I fell off my bike, remember?" Then goes on and says, she just doesn't understand because she wore sweats and shoes and left them around the house and didn't comb her hair that she wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what happens. And you know what the thing is, the sad thing, God, I haven't heard that letter in a long time.
I'm sorry, but it's...
No, it's okay. You know, right now, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yes.
And to get the issue of domestic violence out there and to bring the awareness out there to the public, no matter how we do it, is very important. Nicole was a very strong woman. You know, she had a mind of her own. She spoke up for herself. She was beautiful.
Yes.
She was fit. She was, she was just a really genuinely good person. She'd take the shirt off her back to give it to you if you needed it. I mean, that's just the type of person she was. And for her to even write something like this and to put it into paper, the reason she had to do that was because he would never listen to her when they actually had a conversation. Their communication was horrible. There was no communication between the two of them because he was the type of person that needed to be heard. It was all about him, always. And that's where his ego kind of, everybody, our society fed his ego so much. And that's where I sit there and I go, okay, well, why do we put these people up on pedestals because they can throw a football or throw a basketball or hit a baseball or do something like that? Because we really don't know what these people are capable of doing.
Right. But do you think did you know she was being abused?
No.
Okay, you didn't have any clue.
The thing is I didn't know what domestic violence was.
Okay.
That's why I talk about the cycle of domestic violence. Because the incident of her being thrown out of her house, us being thrown out of the house. I was thrown out of the house as well. We took her to a hotel. There's several instances, but I thought they were isolated. I didn't know that there was a cycle, the verbal, emotional,
and
psychological.
And probably when he was in front of you, he was so charming. Well, and not just him, the gentlemen or the women who abuse men are so charming. You don't see what's behind the closed doors. Is that what you saw?
And you know what? Reading her notes and diaries after she was murdered, you sit there and go, oh my gosh, I was there. Oh my gosh, I was there. Oh my gosh, I was there.
Do you carry any guilt with you that you weren't?
No.
That's
you know why, Patty? It's because when you don't know something, you can't change it. You can't do anything. But now that I know, and I see these women in these shelters, because I have been, usually every time I travel someplace, everywhere I go into a domestic violence shelter. I want to see what they're all about. I need to learn from these people. And that was my education. Right. Learning from the women in shelters, learning from the children. I went to men's prisons. I went to women's prisons. That was my education. I've been to batterer treatment programs. I've talked to families. I mean, I needed to understand why my sister didn't come and talk to me. We were so close. We were less than 2 years apart in age.
She may have felt that she was going to disappoint you.
Well, no.
Do you think that, or what do you think it was?
When I talk to women, it's because they're not ready to leave. Or they're stuck in their situation because they get threatened that they're going to kill them. They're going to kill their families. They're going to kill their children. I mean, there's a lot of threats and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in these, behind closed doors that we aren't even privy of.
Right.
Unless they go to a domestic violence shelter and they actually tell somebody, this is what's going on. That's why we say, put a safety plan together before you leave.
Okay.
Put a safety plan together. Don't go to your family's home because they know where the family is. Don't go to your friend's home. They know where they live. put a safety plan
Incredible
together.
advice. We're going to be back.